A Department of Homeland Security investigation busts a child sex trafficking ring right here in Omaha.
People are buying children for sex. The numbers prove it. The people that we've arrested are college educated, they run businesses. These are not crimes that are just in a certain pocket of Omaha. This is occurring absolutely in your neighborhood. You know someone who's online purchasing sex, and you probably know someone who's been online and purchased a child for sex.
I think folks in Omaha, Nebraska think, how could this happen here? I had no idea, but it is happening. It's happening every day, it's happening right under our noses. And I think it's important for us as folks who live in the Midwest to be aware of it, to know what to look for, and then knowing who to call when they suspect that something just seems off.
So the missing youth program and the trafficking program at Project Harmony is very unique, as they have a lot of support with their victim advocates, their missing youth specialists, and then the assigned detectives that are actually doing the work.
It really was a collaboration with Omaha Police Department, Douglas County Attorney's Office, and the Juvenile Assessment Center. The sergeant at the unit had identified 3,200 missing youth a year. They started identifying a lot of our missing youth as very high risk for trafficking and or being trafficked, and that's when we started the Anti-Trafficking Youth Services Program. So they had this vicious cycle of they would pick youth up to take them back home, only for them to run again. So they just really asked who could help them with these youth and figure out what they were running from and what they were running to. And as a child advocacy center, we stepped up and said we will help with that.
There's a lot of girls out there who, like me at first, was scared to leave, but it's a lot easier said than done. A lot of it is fear with the threats, the abuse that comes behind it. You're scared that if you do leave and you end up telling that, they're going to find you again. And those consequences, if they even suspect that you're going to tell them, are a lot worse. So it's just really scary. But I couldn't help but remember wishing that I was found.
So trafficking is really using a person for commercial gain. For adults, that's with force, fraud, or coercion. For youth, forced fraud and coercion does not need to be present. And commercial can be anything of value. So for a youth, it can be they run away, they're picked up by someone on the street, they say they'll feed them or they'll let them stay the night if they have sex with them. For a youth, that's sex trafficking because they're using the youth for sex and trading it for something of value.
What we discovered when we started working juvenile sex trafficking is that it's much larger than what we anticipated. And on top of that, when you work a juvenile trafficking case, oftentimes these cases are very, very long. They can take months, years, and so forth. And we needed help because 2 detectives can't serve all the kids in Omaha.
Most of these survivors and victims aren't really ready to disclose to you or aren't coming running to you, save me, save me, save me. So it takes a massive amount of rapport building just to get the kids to open up to you and stuff like that.
Being able to have that one confidant at a child advocacy center like Project Harmony, take them through that entire process is beneficial because most of them have been abandoned. They need someone who's reliable and who's going to be there and consistent.
My relationship or my journey with the youth that I'm working with, it's just longer, right? And it requires so much more patience. I really am simply just making this young person feel super safe and super comfortable. And I also want to tap into, you have the ability to have a relationship with an adult that is safe and that is healthy.
Places like Project Harmony are critical for the success of a sex trafficking investigation because all of these different parts play a role in helping a kid get out of sex trafficking and then back into society. Whether it's through medical exams, whether it's through therapy, assisting with transportation, a variety of different services that are available to them that CACs can offer is a tremendous help for us.
The young lady went missing, I believe, early part of August. So this individual went and actually picked her up at the house she was staying at.
We eventually found him, and then he had her in a different location in the basement, which really was kind of like a dungeon.
So it was an older home. There was like a main living area, but then there was like this little side porch, but it had a door. The door was pretty busted up, but the door was padlocked shut.
From the outside.
From the outside. Eventually got our missing to come out of the basement with a key and unlock the door.
Her condition caught us off guard, that she was so frail, and she was very scared and fearful at first. She was 88 pounds, eyes sunken, weak, crying. So we put her in my car and just reassured her that we were there to help her. We brought her to Project Harmony where she was able to have a medical exam. And what I remember about that is she fell asleep then, sound asleep, and slept until it was time to go to her new home.
When they actually saved me, I was in a broken down basement and I was really scared. They showed patience with me. They made sure that I had my cat because I was freaking out if I didn't have my cat. They made sure I had everything I wanted and needed. They took me to Project Harmony to make sure everything was okay, and they've followed me throughout that day. So it means a lot to me. They've done a lot.
She's doing great.
Roughly 135 pounds probably.
Right. She's playing sports. She's due to graduate high school in December. She has plans for after high school.
When I think of Project Harmony, the first thought I have is definitely people just giving me support and the clothes and hygiene and just everything that I needed. And my two detectives, Lisa and Jeff, that have saved me and just made sure that everything was okay in my life, and they wanted the best for me. They mean a lot to me. I don't think anyone has shown me as much support and love that Lisa and Jeff has ever showed me. If they wouldn't have found me, I probably would have been dead by now. So I'm really thankful for them.
Children should not be forced into this. They should not be coerced. We have to understand, like, this is not often a choice. No little girl grows up and says, I want to be in the commercial sex trade. That's not what they want to do. They're doing it out of necessity most of the time. We really have to turn as a society and say, this is just a really dark spot and we've not paid a lot of attention to it, and we've got to throw our resources at it. And the community, like I said, just has to come together and say, we won't allow it.